Formed in 1989, is an American R&B group located in Atlanta, Georgia. They're well known for their hit single released in 1993 titled Freak Me, which hit #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Silk is famous for the hit single Happy Days, which was gotten from their album titled Lose Control. Another incredible song titled Girl You For Me was also gotten from this album, and it helped their album and guided it through the path of double platinum status. Other singles like I Can Go Deep, Hooked on You, Don't Rush, If You, We Are Calling You, and Meeting in My Bedroom also brought them huge success. Silk also won Album of the Year, all thanks to the album titled Lose Control in 1994. This award was won at the Soul Train Music Awards, which begs the question, what happened to Silk? Hello everyone, and welcome to True Celebrity Stories. Today we're going to be talking about the American R&B group called Silk. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new content. Career beginning. After being discovered by Keith Sweat, their career was off to a great start. Sweat started by signing them into his record label, which was a subsidiary of Elektra Records. This record label was responsible for releasing their album Lose Control in 1992. Silk got a lot of fans and sold a lot of records because of how good their songs were, which helped them in climbing up the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. This album sold 1.8 million copies and was able to produce 3 R&B top 10 hits in the United States, including their single Freak Me, which stayed #1 for 8 straight weeks in 1993. After a while, the group decided to deviate from the genre of music that they usually produced, but the first song that was released, which sounded a bit different from what they usually did, was not well received by the fans. Although it reached gold status when it came to sales, Gary Jenkins, who was a member of Silk, mentioned that the fans did not seem to be ready for their change in music genre in an interview in 1999. After a while of touring and a while of solitude, the group came together again to record another album titled Tonight. Because of the different responses they got from their fans, they decided to be very careful concerning how they wanted to promote their third album. We felt like we needed to go back to the mindset we had on our first album. Silk then decided to revert to the sensual music that was loved by its fans. Because of this, they felt that their third album had a perfect balance between entertainment and sensual content. Even though we are popular for our sensual and sexual themes, we want to show people that there are different aspects to us beyond the songs we usually produce. Gary Glenn also had the feeling that Silk was ready to keep working on the album Tonight until they felt comfortable releasing it. R&B has gone through so many different modes in the past few years, Gary also mentioned during an interview. We wanted to come out with guns blazing. We have a rare sound, innocent in a way, but still can make the kind of record people will be making babies to, if you know what I mean, he also mentioned. All the members of Silk have made it known that family, moral values, and spirituality are important factors in their lives. Family is important to us, Jonathan Rasborough said in the Elektra publicity material. Family and the importance of getting an education, we try to instill that in our fans wherever we go. The sexual content in their music and their religious beliefs were clear, but Jimmy Gates Jr. tried addressing the issue. Everything has its place, he said. We sing about love and relationships. I don't think you'd want to hear a Silk record if we strayed too far from what has always given R&B its strength. Silk had to have substantial knowledge about marketing, or at least they had to have someone who knew about marketing to have a good chance at the R&B arena. To accomplish this, they met Sonia Norwood. Before they released Tonight in 1999, Norwood took them on. The group had the goal of maintaining relevance in the music industry, which seemed to be changing due to the new artists and trends. Jenkins had an idea of how he wanted Silk's career to be, and he mentioned to Billboard during an interview saying, "We look at a group like the Temptations as an example of how a group can find a niche and stick to it." After releasing a third album and a lot of effort to create music that the fans would love, Silk started to have a promising future. The group is coming back with a bang, Niecy Davis, operations manager at WBLX, a Mobile, Alabama radio station, told Billboard. The new single is getting a great response from our listeners because it's a chick song and their audience is mostly female 18 to 34. The Freak Me controversy. The members of Silk knew that releasing Freak Me would cause a lot of issues and controversies, but they decided to go ahead with it, but they had no idea that it was going to be as successful as it turned out to be. It wasn't even supposed to be a single, recalls Glenn, who will appear with the rest of the group in concert Sunday at DAR Constitution Hall. When we were in the studio, we were very hesitant about recording it. We grew up singing in the church and we were afraid there might be some backlash. People would boycott us and there'd be parental advisories stuck all over the album. But the people demanded that song. A radio programmer down in Houston got hold of the album and started playing Freak Me, and people just wanted to hear more of it. We already had the single Happy Days out and it was doing well, but suddenly everyone wanted to hear Freak Me. Although Freak Me helped the group's career, putting them at the top of the pop singles chart and helped its debut album Lose Control achieve double platinum status, the song also made the group a bit more skeptical. A lot of people blame us for opening the door to a lot of freaky music or whatever you want to call it, Glenn says on the phone from a tour stop near Dallas. But it's tame compared to a lot of things out there. I like to tell people that without the consumer dollar to support it, all of that stuff wouldn't be out there. The major complaint is, what's it doing to the kids? I think the environment that kids are in should be controlled by their parents. As for how his family, Glenn mentioned that while his mother did not like his song titled Freak Me, she made sure she supported him. He also mentioned that numerous people did not hesitate to criticize their songs because they thought it was vulgar, although there were a lot of children selling hard drugs. He was just trying to point out that there were other things to be bothered about than the kinds of songs they sang. The song Freak Me was written by Keith Sweat, who was responsible for the production of their debut album, while making sure the members of Silk did not lose their gospel harmony, which they had developed while growing up performing in churches. Jimmy and John used to work at McDonald's and they'd kick things around listening to each other hum, said Glenn during an interview. Did you get a chance to watch that interview? Then they got the idea to put a group together and start singing, but it wasn't about business then, it was about singing for the girls, a high school thing. Silk became a bit more professional when Keith Sweat became a part of the group. He taught us how to bring the church feeling into the studio but not give everything away. You've got to cultivate a song in the studio slowly, kind of like making love. It became easier as we went along and it was all about Silk, not individuals. If one of the guys was doing well, then he was doing well for the other 4 guys and Keith became the 6th man. Biggest career thrill. According to Glenn, the biggest career thrill for Silk arrived when Keith Sweat allowed them to listen to the album titled Lose Control. He kept us in the dark a lot when we made the album, Glenn says. We recorded the vocals and asked for cassettes so we could hear what we had done, but he wouldn't give in. He didn't want anything to leak out. Then one day we're flying to shoot the cover photo for the album and he comes into the back of the plane and starts throwing all these cassettes at us saying, "Don't say I never did anything for you." To have the album in our hands was unbelievable. When Glenn was asked if Keith Sweat felt bad about giving the single Freak Me away, he paused, after which he laughed, saying, "I can't say he had any regrets, though I understand he's never had a #1 single on the pop charts." Of course, me being down with Silk, I'm gonna say that if he kept it, he couldn't deliver it as we deliver it. Career advancement. Silk released their 5th studio album in 2003 titled Silk Time on their record label known as Silk Music Group. This album included songs like My Girl, More, Alibi, Check My Story, and many more. A particular song, which was a cover version of Sideshow released by Blue Magic, reunited them with Keith. In 2006, the group returned with a cover album titled Always and Forever, which was released by Shanachi Records. This album pulled along covers of R&B songs including Adore by Prince, Always and Forever, and Secret Garden, which was the first single. On the 18th of March 2018, Silk's 7th album titled Quiet Storm was released by Shanachi Records. Silk then celebrated its 25th anniversary being in the music industry. They did this by organizing 2 concerts, one in Atlanta and the other in New York. What do you think about Silk's career? Do you think there's more to what they have to offer? Drop your answers in the comments section. But before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new content about your favorite celebrities. I will see you soon.